Hello, my darlings. So today's lesson is, am I going mad? I quite often thought this when I was going through spiritual awakening. I mean, I wasn't into spirituality, so I knew nothing about it. And to go from that to learning things that were so different than what I knew, I would quite often think, am I going mad? So I'm going to be telling you things about things that you can't see, and I'm going to be giving you another version of what you know things as, and that's going to be quite hard. Okay, so all I would say, there was always something inside me, that gut feeling just to keep going, and you know it's right. You'll know that information is correct. So I would say to you is, when you believe in something and you can't see it, it's faith. And you're going to need a lot of faith, because this journey is quite tough. It is quite tough at times. If you think you're going to go through this process, then you're going to do the lottery, win it and not work, that's not how it works either. Okay, you're going to have a mission. It's a part to play on the planet, okay, and especially now, God needs us to step up now. Just turn the news on, so it's a choice. Do you want that, or are you going to step up and choose peace and love and improve this planet? You do have free will, okay? If you don't want to choose the path, you say you want to start a business, you can do that. They will help you out. They'll tell you what contracts not to take, what contracts to take. But generally your mission is something that you already do, that you like. So for instance, I used to teach craft workshops and all those sort of things. And now I'm here teaching spirituality. So it's not a great difference. And I don't have a problem with it. It's nice to teach people, and I will get to meet lots of people, so that will all be great. So what I did to try and get over the fact of, is this right, is this not right, I put myself into two people. I'm a spiritual person and I'm also a human. And when it comes to anything spiritual, I just went across the side, left everything that I knew or was told humanly, and I'd take the information on and I'd just sit with it. And I'd like, yeah, okay, that's how it works spiritually. So that's easier to accept. However, when it came to like changing my thoughts, so just for instance, the way you speak to people and things like that, I would normally react. Somebody said something, I'll be like, whoa. But what I had to do was stop and think what I was about to say. I'd then step into my spiritual side. Now I know I'm not allowed to react that way spiritually. So I just stop, take a breather, and then I'd react in a spiritual way, which means I would be calm and I'd listen, and then I'd react to whatever the situation was. But it was definitely not a quick reaction anymore. So that's the way to get over your thoughts. Say to yourself, right, I need to act spiritually like this. Step over to that side. You know how they want you to act, and then act accordingly. And that helped me quite a bit. And then eventually I wasn't stepping anywhere. My gut reactions was always the nicer version of it. So the other thing that I would say is, these guys upstairs, God, Jesus, everyone, they are your best friends ever. I've never ever had anybody have my back like they do. I mean, there's been things that I've not wanted to do, struggled with, and they've just had all the patience and they're just there all the time, just keep repeating it. I did get told to shut up quite a few times, because you're not allowed to tell people what you're up to, okay? And I will tell you why later. But so keep whatever you're doing to yourself, okay? One of the things is that people, when you're going through this, people can influence you that aren't into it. So if you just do this all quietly at home, in your head, keep it to yourself, and you've got no outside influences that don't believe in it, and you're sort of spared the laughing, the giggling, and everything else that I had to endure. If I'd just shut up, but the thing is, they don't say to you shut up because of this and this. You just get told shut up, so you don't know actually what you're shutting up for, but that is what it's for anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do now then is, let's just say hi to our spirit team, God, Jesus, everybody. Tell them you want to go through a spiritual awakening and you want to learn how to manifest. Okay, so we've set that out there. Go onto YouTube. Now select a tarot reading. I use Sheila Pilar, Pluto Bean, Seema, and the Gem Goddess. If you've never done any spiritual work like me, go for the Gem Goddess. She has 4 cards out with crystals on top, and then you have to choose what crystal you're drawn to. And if you've got no background, as I didn't, this will help you. This will start your intuition off. Now, for those youngsters that I know that are far more into it than myself, your readings, just choose one, and on the side where your thumbnails are, okay, start using your gut reaction, intuition, and what are you drawn to, okay? Go into that message. That's your message. Now, key thing here is, if you've not been doing this, all right, them upstairs won't know that you're going to be doing this every day. Okay, so give them a good week. The other thing that I find, which is quite funny, I will say something to myself like, right, everything I'm doing is touching, going to turn to gold. And then literally the next morning, they will repeat those words. Everything you touch will turn to gold, will come out in your reading. So that's a good way to learn if you are connecting. But please give it time. Don't do 2 and go, this don't work. It won't. You just got to give them time to realise that every morning you're going here, and then they're like, oh, she's been there 3 days, I'm going to get in there. So always remember, they are slower, much slower than we are, and don't give up. They are your key things. Never give up. Keep doing it, and then if you're having problems, just say to them, can we do something else? But just don't give up. That's the worst thing you can do. It's early days, so we will do another video soon if you go and do all of that, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye, sweeties.